Okay, salam and hello everyone. So we'll proceed with the next chapter on the operational amplifier. So it's a new topic. We just finished the MOSFET topic, and now we're in the op-amp topic. Okay, so operational amplifier. This is a example of the op-amp chip that we can find in the electronic shops. This is the schematic for the chip, so you can see the pins there. So from left you have pin number 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, and this is how the op-amp is connected internally in the chip. And then this is a symbol for the op-amp. Okay, so we're going to look into details on the how we can apply op-amp in our electronics applications, and we do some mathematical analysis using op-amps. So as an introduction, so operational amplifier is a full name. We call it op-amp. So it's an amplifier device that accepts a varying input signal and produce a similar output signal with larger amplitude. So we want to make the output larger than the input by a certain amount, which is to amplify the input signals on the input. Okay, so usually it's designed by having a feedback, okay, connected so that the part of the output is fed back to the input, called the feedback loop. Op-amps behave as a voltage amplifier, and these are normally basic components used in analog circuits. The name op-amp comes from the fact that they were only used to perform math operations such as integration and differentiation. Okay, so typical op-amps, as you can see here, we've seen in the first slide. If you look inside here, for example, this is your op-amp. Okay, this is your op-amp, and to make the connection, this is your input. Okay, this is your output. So this is your out, this is in negative, and then you have an in positive. Okay, so 3 pins, but remember also you need also the plus and the minus supply power. Okay, so pin 4 is reserved for negative supply, and then you have a pin 8 used for a positive supply. Okay, so we have 2 options here. We can use the 8-pin op-amp or the 14-pin op-amp. Okay. So some characteristics here. Op-amps have a very high gain, okay, ideally close to infinity if it's connected in an open loop fashion. So we can connect the op-amp either in open loop or the closed loop. So what does it mean by open loop? What it means by the closed loop? So an open loop refers to a configuration where there is no feedback from the output to the input. Okay, we use the op-amp as it is without any feedback, and the gain can exceed up to 10,000. Closed loop configuration is when we have a feedback, okay, and it's called a negative feedback. Okay, we'll see later on, but this is more common. Okay, more common. We see examples, more examples on how to use the closed loop configuration of the op-amp. Okay, and why we need a negative feedback here? You mentioned that a negative feedback reduces the gain and improves many characteristics of the op-amp. Okay, that's the main reason why a negative feedback configuration is probably more preferred compared to the open loop configuration. Okay, let's look at some more characteristics of the op-amp. So here is one op-amp, operational amplifier, and normally inside here it consists of MOSFET or BJT. Okay, inside here there's probably 4 or 5 MOSFETs or BJT arranged in certain way. MOSFET, BJTs, okay, more than one, arranged in certain way. Okay, so inside we have the active components. Okay, we have the transistors inside arranged in a certain way to obtain an operational amplifier. And some of the characteristics include the currents into the op-amp on the inverting and the inverting and non-inverting lines. Okay, so we have the currents on the input here, okay, in minus and in plus, okay, the inverting, non-inverting inputs. We have VID, okay, VID is right there, so VID is the difference, okay, so here you can say that VID is in plus minus in minus, okay, so the difference between the input and output voltage, the in plus voltage minus the in negative voltage is your VID, okay, and then once you have your VID, you can calculate what is your Vout in an open loop configuration. So this is an open loop configuration. See, we have no negative feedback. Okay, there's no feedback. So Vout is ADM times the VID, and VID is there. And what is ADM? So ADM is explained here, where ADM is a differential mode voltage gain, where ADM here is you can say is infinity, 10,000 or very large. Okay, so then your Vout in an open loop configuration will be close to infinity, regardless of your VID. Okay, so that's one characteristics there. The other characteristics, the other characteristics is your power supply. Okay, you need also your plus minus power supply to the operation amplifier. The input impedance is infinity. Okay, so Ri here is infinity, means no current flow in. Okay, no current flow in here and here. Okay, because we have an infinite resistance internally. Okay, ideally, the gain of amplifier is infinity. So this one, okay, the ADM, the gain of the amplifier is infinity. Rout, the output impedance is ideally 0. So here we say the output resistance is ideally 0, which means that we have a current flow. Okay, so we have a current flow on the output side and no current flow on the input side, with an infinite gain open loop configuration. Okay, so let's see the transfer curve. So the transfer curve here, we are looking at V plus, V minus, and V out here. So what happens if you put the differential, okay, the differential input, V plus minus V minus, and what's going to happen to our output? So we can see that we also have the power supply, VCC and minus VCC. So we can see that if we have a small difference, okay, on the V plus V minus, we are going to get a high gain. Okay, a high gain, but limited by the positive and negative power supply. And here is called a positive saturation, and down here is called a negative saturation. Okay, we see more examples on this. Okay, so let's do some mathematical analysis on the operation amplifier. So the basic and most common circuit building device, ideally, we can say that no current can enter the terminal. So as mentioned, okay, no current flow. Okay, it's a very important concept to understand that no current flow on the V plus and also V minus. Okay, because of the infinite input resistance. Okay, so R here is infinity on the input side. Okay, so we can only see the voltage value but no current flow in. That's number one. And number two, we have an infinite gain. So here we can see here is the A here is infinity. So if we supply differential V plus V minus infinity, V out is going to be very large. In a circuit, V plus is force equals to V minus. This is called the virtual ground property. Okay, so in actual fact, because we have a very high gain, we can say that V plus is actually equals to or close to V minus, but in our analysis, to simplify things, we can say that V plus is actually equals to V minus. Op-amp needs two voltages, VCC, VEE. These are called the rails. Okay, so we have the power rails, VCC minus VCC or V minus VEE. Okay. So let's look at some of the linear applications. Okay, so op-amp we have two types of applications. So we can say with op-amp we have linear and the non-linear. Okay, linear and a non-linear applications. So for this week, we're going to cover linear. Next week, we're going to look at some of the non-linear applications of op-amps. Okay, and then for linear, we have several different ones. Okay, so given here. Okay, so commonly used op-amp circuits. Okay, this is linear. Okay, commonly used linear op-amp circuits. That we're going to look at is going to look at in detail on the inverting amplifier. Okay, how to use the op-amp for inverting amplifier, how to use the op-amp for non-inverting, how to use the op-amp for unity follower, for difference amplifier or the subtractor, the amplifying summer, integrated differentiator. But these two we'll not cover in this class. Okay. So this one just for your information, that we can also have or design an integrator, a mathematical integrator, or to do a derivative, okay, differentiator, using the op-amp. So integrator and differentiator not covered. Okay, not covered in this class. Okay. So we're going to look at 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 that we have to know and analyze mathematically for the linear op-amp applications for this week. Okay, so for the applications, we'll talk more about it in the next video.